Hey everybody, how you doing out there in podcast land? Welcome to a bastion of free speech, where we say what the fuck we want, piss off who the fuck we want, and we don't fucking care.
Damn Skippy.
Yes, he's back.
You are healthy.
Kind of.
Mostly.
Almost. Yeah. So after getting through last week's solo, a day late and a dollar short, we're back to full strength.
Your favorite politically incorrect sports commentary. We are Sports Frenzy, baby.
That is your Uncle Dave, the Conquistador Dave Height.
That is the maestro, Kevin Crane.
And of course, we are glad to be back. Yes, last week was kind of a clusterfuck. I will take responsibility for that. But should not happen again. I'm not that old yet where these ailments should be kicking in every other week. But if I had a healthcare plan and a doctor that I trusted, I might have gone in and got it cleaned up quicker. But instead, I fought through it.
Fought the good fight.
That's right. As, of course, the great Triumph once sang. So, of course, last week we did the NFL preview. Now it is time to recap NCAA Football Week 2, NFL Football Week 1, and then, of course, we will segue into our picks for NCAA Week 3 and NFL Week 2.
As the chaos continues.
We started off Thursday night, September the 4th, with the Cowboys and the Eagles.
That was a better game than anticipated.
Yeah, and of course then we had the spitting incident right off the bat.
And of course, his ejection, that's just his suspension as well. He gets nothing extra.
I figured that's where they were going to go with that. He got his monetary penalty, his fine.
Grow up, kid. Grow up.
Yeah. We all picked the Eagles across the board to win the game, but like you said, it was a lot more competitive than I expected.
And I think it was the Eagles kind of being distracted with all the ceremony and everything.
And then immediately losing their best defensive player right off the bat.
Yep. So.
And it took a while to adjust. I don't know if they ever really adjusted on defense.
Defense did not. Offense took a little to get rolling.
Although the second half was a massive drop-off in terms of production on both sides in terms of offense. But we had the big delay, and I think that also threw them for a loop as well.
Yeah. All the lightning in the area.
Yep. So, everybody's going nutsy cuckoo, gaga crazy. Oh, the Cowboys didn't look that bad. All right.
They didn't look that good either.
Yeah. Is Javonte Williams really going to turn out to be now the solution at running back? From what I saw this past week, there are very, very, very few teams in the NFL right now that have a decent running game.
Yeah, they're few and far between right now.
So I think it's going to boil down to, can you throw the ball? Can you spread the ball around to different receivers, including the tight ends? And can your defense do something to hold up the other team? I know that sounds like fundamental football, but
it's lost in this day and age.
Yeah, and
everybody's gimmicky and has to find the cutesy plays, and you don't get to the basics.
Yep. And like we've said for the last few years, ever since they reduced the preseason, that these first couple weeks in the regular season, in many cases, feel like preseason football.
Yeah, because you don't have your starters out there getting any work before game 1.
Yep. So the defending champions, the Eagles, do prevail 24-20. And then Friday night in Sao Paulo, Brazil, we had the Chargers with, I think you could call this a statement win, as they beat the Chiefs 27-21, although Mr. Taylor Swift didn't help matters.
No, taking his own receiver out in a crossing pattern.
Yeah, thanks a fucking hell of a lot, Travis. You killed 2 of my fantasy teams.
Wow.
I had Xavier Worthy starting on 2, not in our league, but in 2 other leagues. And I'm like, big, fat, fucking 0 right off the bat.
He wants financial compensation.
Or indecent proposal. Give me an hour with Taylor. No holds barred.
An hour?
That'll give me 2 times. I need to give myself 20 minutes recovery.
But again, we do not condone going after players for compensation for fantasy football or lost bets.
God, no. God, no. No. No,
It's
again.
a joke, people.
Again, this world is so... I'm not going to get into...
Everything.
Into the world. And today is not a great day to do it. But as we record on September the 10th. But... yeah, overreactions not only in sports, but everywhere in this fucking world. We've got to calm down. We've got to calm the fuck down.
Get off your extremes and get back to sanity in the middle.
So again, the Chargers beat the Chiefs 27-21. Justin Herbert had a very good game. He did exactly what I just mentioned. Spread the ball around. 3 different receivers.
Yep.
Had very, very good games.
They had a good game plan set.
But again, I think it's a fair comparison. Now, the Eagles ended up winning, despite the fact that they had that shock to the system of losing their best defensive player, Jalen Carter, right off the bat. The Chiefs could not overcome losing Xavier Worthy early on.
They've got enough other people to throw the ball to.
Well, the problem with the Chiefs is that I don't think right now they have a viable running game.
They don't.
Pacheco does not look as good as he did 2 years ago. Kareem Hunt's getting up there in years. And plus last year's catching up to them. All the sneaky, crazy, goofy, close wins that they had.
Yeah.
Karma's a bitch. And karma's going to come back and catch up with you. And that's probably what we're going to see this year.
They're going to... They should fall back to the pack. They've been very football lucky the last several years.
Yep. And then we move on to Sunday, September the 7th. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers knock off the Falcons in Atlanta 23-20. Some people say that the Falcons handed that game to the Buccaneers, but doesn't matter. You still lost.
Yep. That's the way it goes.
I still don't think Raheem Morris is a good head coach at all. And I think what you're going to look at,
some issues.
What you're going to look at in Atlanta is the same messed up situation we had in Chicago, and you're probably going to have in New York with the Giants this offseason, where you draft a young quarterback and high up in the first round.
Didn't make any changes to the coaching staff.
Right, so he's going to waste a year, in Penix's case, 2 years, with this lame duck head coach. And then they're going to have to bring in a better coach and revamp and retool everything.
It's just stupid the way this system works.
Yes. Well, logically, if you've got a high draft pick, it's because your coach sucks and your team sucks.
So you start over. You
Blow it all
fire
up.
the coach, have the new one come in and decide who they want to have.
Again, we have to run everything, don't we?
Yep. I should be running the damn Dolphins. Shellacked by the fucking Colts.
I watched that game, by the way. I watched that game.
33-8. Miami is awful to start. McDaniels has got to be, top in the betting pool to be fired first?
He is. The odds are for him. I wondered after watching that if he wouldn't get fired after one game. Because, did you hear the press conference afterwards?
No, I ignored
Jesus
everything.
Christ.
I was so pissed off.
I could find a 6-year-old walking home from school. Don't read into that. I'm not trying to be a creep. But I'm saying I could find a 6-year-old who could hold a better press conference than that idiot. 15 seconds straight of, after he's asked a question, literally.
Oh, God,
so
that's
uncomfortable.
Pathetic.
And then he finally spits out a nonsensical answer. Because he's more worried about his capri pants and his gold-rimmed sunglasses than he is about being a disciplinarian and getting some energy into this team. Yeah, terrible, terrible showing by the Dolphins. Who knows where they're going, except maybe a couple of them to jail. Is it shocking? Remember last year, Dave? Remember all the pity parties the media had for Tyreek Hill when he got pulled over outside of the stadium?
Yeah, for speeding and being a douchebag.
Oh, but no, it's racism. The police went too far.
No, they did not.
How about the fact Tyreek Hill is a scumfuck?
How about he's an entitled little prick?
He has now been accused of domestic violence by his estranged wife.
Oh, there's a shock.
I believe she's mentioned at least 8 specific incidents.
I'm not surprised.
Now, we are always trying to look at both sides when it comes to this stuff.
You look at his attitude on everything. Are you really surprised of these accusations?
No. But I'm saying we always know that every once in a while there might be a little bit of what we call extortion.
Yeah.
Involved. Yes. But not in this case.
But
He's
the police
have
been called to his home several times.
I absolutely no. You're right. You judge based on what information we have, and the information that I have on Tyreek Hill is he's a scumbag.
Yes.
Now, I didn't get to this last week, and it's perfect because now it fits in wonderfully here with the chaos of the Dolphins.
It's an early frenzy 5-0.
Yes. A couple weeks ago, outside linebackers coach Ryan Crow was also arrested on domestic battery charges. So again, what is McDaniel doing with this team? Does he have any control over his coaches, his players?
Doesn't seem like it, does it? Ugh, idiot.
And if we're going to get to our picks, and the Dolphins are on the slate this week, and I'm telling you, if they don't win this game,
they could go 0-for.
Yeah. This is like the Bears last week, my negative view on them not being able to beat the Vikings. We'll get to that in a minute. Speaking of the Dolphins' upcoming opponent, the Patriots, you and I got this one right. This was one of our upset specials. I just had a feeling. You got to give Vrabel some time in New England to get everything set.
Yeah, he wasn't going to win out of the gate.
No, he's still got a young quarterback. You got Stephon Diggs, who's still dinged up.
Yeah.
And then Pete Carroll didn't have much of a defense, although they played pretty well here.
Decently. He's got his quarterback.
He's got his running back.
It's Pete Carroll.
And even though Jacoby Myers isn't happy with his contract, he played pretty well. Brock Bowers, before he got injured, played well.
Yep.
So, yeah, the Raiders go into Foxborough and beat the Patriots 20-13. This is what you get on the flip side. Some of these games are ugly and low scoring, and then you get the Steelers and the Jets.
Which was ugly and high scoring.
Yeah, the Steelers end up winning 34-32. Aaron Rodgers has 4 touchdown passes. Justin Fields looks like the quarterback that the Bears wished they had drafted. Now he's eventually, after a couple stops, maybe turning into that. But we've seen that with a lot of different quarterbacks where they need Baker Mayfield.
Sam Darnold.
Yep, although
Darnold could be...
The jury's out on him after this week, yeah. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers gets his revenge. Good for him.
Blah, blah, blah.
I still think they have issues. Number one, that defense can't let up 32 points to the Jets.
No, there was no excuse for that.
If it's supposed to be one of the top 3 defenses in the league, no excuse.
None.
Because I've been saying the Jets' talent is overrated, and then they go out here in week 1 against the Steelers, and Garrett Wilson has a big game. Breece Hall has a big game.
You let Aaron Rodgers throw for 4.
Yeah,
really?
now
Come on.
that's the Jets' defense.
Well, yeah, the Jets D.
But we will see. We will see what happens. I'm predicting a possible trap game involving the Jets this week. We'll get to that in a few minutes. Oh, at the end of last year, it looked promising for the Carolina Panthers. It looked promising.
They looked like they might have turned the corner. No, they didn't. They fall to the inept Jaguars, 26-10.
And this was another game with a long delay due to weather, which again kind of messed everything up in terms of the flow of the offense. The weird, wild, wacky Jaguars with Mr. Duval.
The janky Jags.
I'm looking at the box score for this game because I do kind of follow the Jaguars. I follow all the Florida teams. And I'm just blown away. Travis Hunter didn't do anything. Brian Thomas, top level fantasy football pick, usually picked in the first 2 rounds, didn't do much of anything. They trade Tank Bigsby away after the game. So now he's going to be Saquon Barkley's backup insurance policy. The guy who hasn't done shit in 2 years, Travis Etienne, all of a sudden
decides to show up.
Yeah, Liam Cohen whispers in his ear, says, Duval, you're the man, Duval. And he goes off.
One game.
I
One
don't
game
understand.
in how many years?
Yeah, it's been 2 years since he was relevant. Really.
Yeah.
Because last year, Bigsby was much more productive than
And let's face
Etienne.
it, Etienne has not panned out to what he was
okay
projected to be.
his first year. He was okay.
And you expected
Then
him
he
to
was
have
disappointing
developed.
in his second year, and then the third year is when Bigsby took over, and now Cohen said, no, Bigsby's out.
Who knows?
But again, because the Panthers took 10 steps back, it looks like.
Yeah, they did. Ooh, that was ugly.
So, Jacksonville off to a 1-0 start. Another ugly game out in the Pacific Northwest. This is where we bring up Sam Darnold. The 49ers beat the Seahawks 17-13. Sam Darnold couldn't connect with anybody except Jackson Smith and Jigba. I mean, Cooper Kupp was worthless.
Yeah, non-existent.
It looks like, I don't know if there was an injury involved, but it wouldn't shock me because I never have trusted Kenneth Walker. I saw a lot in the box score of Zach Charbonnet running the ball.
Yeah.
But it looks like maybe Sam Darnold caught lightning in a bottle last year, and now he's back to
one and done.
He's back to seeing ghosts like he did in New York.
Yeah. And then on the Niners side, you had Kittle on a nice reception. Then that put him on the IL.
Yep, hamstring.
Yep.
He's out at least 4 weeks. Brock Purdy now, today, they are saying that doesn't look good with the toe and the shoulder. He could miss multiple weeks.
Yeah, it's so
the
brutal.
49ers comeback tour has ground down to an absolute halt.
Yep. They got stymied week 1 with that
Christian McCaffrey is healthy.
Yeah, he somehow managed to skate through
Jawan
unscathed.
Jennings is dinged up. They are in trouble. They are in trouble.
Oh.
I could see this one coming. This was the late national game on Sunday. The Packers hosting the Lions. I picked the Packers to get to the NFC Championship. The Micah Parsons trade, I could tell, just energized the fan base, the team, no matter if he ends up being a major factor. It was a message to everybody saying, we're all in now. We're all in now. We're all in. It's going to end up eventually.
Still don't like the Packers receiving core, though.
Yeah, I'm with you. And they just gave Christian Watson a $13 million extension?
For what?
People are making jokes about this. Christian Watson just stole $13 million from the Packers.
Yeah. He's never played a full season.
Yeah,
He's
and the new kid Golden, he was okay.
All right, but this was more of the Lions weren't ready.
Well, with two new coordinators, offense and defense, we kind of knew this could happen. We kind of figured
that was coming.
Yeah. So good for them. They've got pretty much a bye week guaranteed win coming up. But no, I still don't think Jordan Love looks like a top shelf quarterback.
No, he's
Josh
got
Jacobs,
his issues.
They were keying on Jacobs and forcing Love to pass to, as you said, this mediocre group of wide receivers that nobody ever steps up and really stands out.
Yeah, but it's the Lions' defense was just not ready. And that's a new
The Lions weren't ready.
No, they weren't.
What was it I saw? Jahmyr Gibbs, 0 yards before contact. 0 yards before contact. That's pathetic.
That's horrendous.
But like we said, the Lions, Detroit fans, it's looking up this week.
Relax.
Guaranteed win. Guaranteed win. And then we had the classic, first Rams and Texans. I figured that'd be an ugly game. It was an ugly game.
14-9. Eesh.
Now, of course, we'll talk about Caleb Williams here in a minute. C.J. Stroud. He's lucky Caleb Williams is taking all this negative press in terms of young quarterbacks. Because C.J. Stroud has plummeted from year 1 through year 2, now to year 3.
Yeah, he has regressed badly.
Yes.
Not looking good at all.
Again, looking at the numbers for that offense, he couldn't get the ball to Nico Collins. They couldn't really run the ball all that well.
No, they were just inept, beyond inept.
So the Rams basically won.
By default?
Yeah. Stafford to Puka Nacua was basically it.
Yeah.
With a little bit of Kyron Williams thrown in. Yeah. But yeah, then we got the classic Sunday night.
The epic performance by Josh Allen or epic meltdown by the Ravens D, or a combination of.
I'm going to go with your final choice.
The combination?
Yeah, because I saw, first thing Monday morning is I saw MVP performance by Josh Allen. I'm like, well, I don't know about that. If Derrick Henry doesn't fumble, that game is over.
Yeah, and that is a rare fumble.
Yeah, and nobody is going to rip on Derrick Henry for that.
No.
That man has got so much goodwill banked as he's going to be in Canton one day, and he was tearing it up completely in that game. Oh my God,
he ran over the Bills.
Yeah. So he fumbles a ball. Nobody should say anything bad about that man.
No, he carried them.
But that was a killer.
Because it gave the Bills one more chance.
In good field position. Now, Josh Allen played really well, but let's look at the one pass that got deflected off the hands of his one receiver and happened to just land in the hands of Keon Coleman. That's not on Josh Allen in a great throw. That's luck.
That is pure.
That is the football gods saying, okay, you guys might not be able to beat the Chiefs, but right now we're going to make sure the Ravens can't beat you. So it's one of those fluky, crazy things.
It's just wacky crap.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was a combination. Now, I do have an interesting, fun little stat for you when it comes to one John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh, obviously the only team he has coached is the Ravens. 17 blown double-digit leads in the second half. Ooh. 17. The AP says that is the most at least since 1991 for any head coach.
Wow. Oof.
So,
Oof.
and a lot of people are ready
And
to
that's
put
a-
Harbaugh into Canton too.
Yeah, and the Ravens are supposed to be a defense-first team.
But again, yeah, we talked about the Steelers.
Supposed
Now
to
let's
be
talk
a
about the
defense.
Ravens and the Bills, both of them. Now the Bills did get the big punch-out fumble on Derrick Henry, but 41-40.
Come on.
Now the Ravens are supposed to be a top-level defense. The Bills aren't supposed to be shabby by any stretch, especially at home. They shouldn't be letting up 40 points to anybody.
No.
Oh, well, we got Joey Bosa now.
Yeah, where was he?
He had one big play that I saw.
That was it.
Yeah. You and I
The
both
Bosas
agree.
are overrated.
Yeah. If they're not injured, they're not making much of an impact on the field.
Yep. Bingo.
Big win for the Bills, and in that division, considering the fact that they were the only ones that won, they already got a one-game lead free and clear,
Yeah.
and they just got one of their toughest games off the schedule.
Bodes well for them.
They will be locked up in
They should run roughshod through their division.
They will have that division sewn up by late November.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then
disaster struck.
Monday night, September
Depression
the 8th.
sets in once again. The Bears are who we thought they were.
I was
jinxed.
literally getting ready to file my paperwork with the National Association of Professional Football Fans, and I was getting ready to pick a new team. And then luckily, I guess I fell asleep with my pen hovering
over the signature line.
Well, I hadn't picked the team yet, But, oh my God. I told you that I'm not putting up with this shit again with this team. I'm not. They look great, at least competent for 2.5 quarters, and then it all fell apart, and it just looked exactly like Matt Eberflus and Mark Trestman and every fucking head coach going all the way back to Ditka.
Yep. Once again, when it gets to crunch time, the Bears' offense goes backwards, false starts, holding.
Caleb Williams running around like a madman.
Just stop. You looked great when the play was in. You fell back and you just fired the ball. When you're off script, you are perfect. You think too much. Just react. You know what the play is. Nope, not there. Check down, hit it. Trust your receivers to be there. Don't wait that little bit. You can't afford it in this league. Trust that your receivers are going to break and be at the spot where the ball needs to be. You have to put your faith in your ability to throw it and their ability to get there. And for God's sake, learn how to throw a touch pass. We know you've got a rocket for an arm. But when it's a little dink and dunks, you can't fire it in 120 miles an hour and expect these guys to hold on to it within a 10-yard radius.
Yep, so the Bears lose 27-24 as they make J.J. McCarthy look like Joe Montana in the fourth quarter. Because I'm firmly convinced the defense was just tired
They were gassed.
and worn down because the offense kept going 3 and out.
And O'Connell made the adjustments he needed to.
Right.
And you really didn't see that out of the Bears. Ben Johnson even admitted, that's on me for not calling a good game in the second half.
Now,
where's the fucking running game?
I am done with Caleb Williams, and I'm going to tell you why. Because unless he has a miraculous change of attitude, okay, when he was coming out of USC, we heard the rumblings and the rumors, and there were people saying, you better be careful with him. He's got a little bit of an emotional issue. He's got a little bit of a me snowflake thing going. You know, we heard, oh, he didn't want to play in Chicago. He wanted to play for Minnesota. And then he said all the right things and said, no, I'm happy to be in Chicago. We're going to turn this thing around.
Really, what quarterback wants to play in Chicago?
But let's point out two things from that game Monday night. Number one, what was with the bullshit sloppy moves with the gray t-shirt hanging out
and the
sleeves? He looked like a bum. He looked like a fucking bum.
That was an unprofessional look.
And then I find out the next day he's back to doing the fingernails bullshit again. Angel Reese, of all people, is tweeting or putting stuff on social media saying, hey, I just hooked up my man Caleb with my nail technician.
Oh, God.
So did you see his nails during the game?
No, I wasn't paying attention to his nails.
No, I'm saying I found this out the next day because I wasn't either. I don't care if it was for a good cause. He had his nails all done up in trying to bring awareness to suicide prevention. That being said, focus on fucking football! Especially when you're on the field to play football. If you want to talk about suicide awareness on Wednesday or Thursday, do it! But I don't need the fucking fingernails when you're playing the first game of the most crucial, critical year in Bears history! I don't care if it saved the puppy dogs or saved the whales. I don't care what it's for.
You're there to win the fucking game. And everybody would be fine with it if you won the fucking game. Priorities. Priorities, priorities.
And I have seen this out of so many goddamn athletes over the last handful of years, where they get so wrapped up in the color of their hair, saying some kind of symbol for Pride Month, or this or that cause. And then the NFL fucking buys into it with my cause, my cleats. How about we focus on playing football and winning football games? Isn't that what we're overpaying all these idiots for?
It's great they want to support these causes. Do it during the week.
I couldn't tell you how mad I was when I heard this Tuesday. I can't tell you how mad I was about this.
Stop getting distracted for the love of all that's holy.
And then, of course, you want to be connected to Angel Reese?
No, you
don't. One of the most arrogant people in professional sports right now. The Chicago Sky are looking to ship her ass out after this season, after, 2 years? Because she's too much of a distraction and too much about her brand and not about playing basketball. And Caleb wants to be associated with that? Please. I couldn't be more pissed off at him right now than I am. Because all the dire predictions from a year and a half ago are coming true.
You're starting to see it.
He needs somebody to take him aside, slap him upside the head. And what did I say to you about 3 weeks ago? What question did I pose to you? How long will it take if this goes south?
Before Tyson Bagent comes in.
Yes. And the odds, I heard the odds yesterday.
Starting to
The
shift.
odds among all NFL teams. Which starting quarterback going into week 1 will be the first to be benched? He's 4th right now. He's 4th.
No bueno.
All right, let's hit a couple little headlines and then we'll move on to our picks for the week.
You don't want a college wrap-up?
Well, no, we'll get to college. We got to finish
Oh,
the
all
pros
right.
first. Got to finish the pros
All
first.
right.
All right, Amari Cooper has retired.
Right
Which was
before the season started.
kind of weird. He agrees to the deal with the Raiders and then says, "Nah, I'm good."
It sounded like the Raiders talked him into not retiring. And
was
then he's
having
decided that no, I'm done.
Yeah. This has kind of flown under the radar. I've only seen this reported in one place here. But the Broncos, the Denver Broncos, are getting a new stadium. Privately funded. So you'll like that. I know how much you
like
hate
that. Fuck the public funding.
Yeah, no, privately funded stadium. They are aiming to open it in 2031. Now,
Oh, gee, isn't that when the Bears are trying to project to open their new stadium in Arlington?
well, here's the interesting thing, and this will tell you a little bit about how these teams now, with all the money flowing in all these major sports, look at how these stadiums are disposable. The original Mile High Stadium stood for 40 years. Then its replacement, which if the 2031 timeline stays, that'll mean 30 years for that one. So what are you now expecting as a life, a timeline for the life of this third Broncos stadium? 25 years?
20? This is ridiculous.
Blows my mind. Now, at least, again, this is privately funded. So if you're going to waste somebody's money, it's not going to be the taxpayers.
That's a good thing.
For the first time ever, in week 1, Dave, every single game was available online through some kind of a streaming service. So I know that makes you happy. Oh, and by the way, how about that YouTube game on Friday? I
didn't even bother.
I would like to challenge. It's time for Thunderdome. I would like to challenge Mr. Beast, that stupid, cheesy Squid Game wannabe doofus with that big stupid smile. I need to punch him in the face. He and I need to go into Thunderdome. I can't. And then they're showing all these different YouTube creators throughout.
Who cares?
This is, again, Roger Goodell not caring about his core fan base. And believe me, we get to NASCAR, we're going to talk about that. But these arrogant jackasses, we got to reach the young demographic. The young demographic doesn't give two shits.
They don't.
You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time.
Your new demographic, the 20-year-olds of today, don't give two rip shits about football. They don't. My boys don't care. It's on all the time. They'll wander through. Oh, who's winning? Okay, you want to sit down? Nope, I'm good.
Yeah.
They don't care.
You'd be better off sticking with your core fan base, 40s, 50s, 60-year-old people who, yes, believe it or not, still have all the money and still appeal to the advertisers because they have all the money. But no, you go after the 20-somethings who are living in mommy and daddy's basement and have no disposable income.
And they don't care.
Smart. Then this is going to, I hate to do this to Dave, but this is going to dig up a fantasy football wound for him this past weekend. But the Cincinnati Bengals somehow beat the Cleveland Browns. In the second half, they only put up 7 yards of offense. And I believe, if I heard it correctly, they had negative yardage in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it wasn't good. Ugh.
Who expects that for the Bengals? And again, they won But this is the typical slow start for the Bengals again. That we've been saying Zach Taylor cannot have this happen again. And he just barely got away with it. Barely got away with it in week 1.
Yeah. 8.8 fantasy football points out of Joe Burrow.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Absolutely stupid.
All right, now with that, let's head into NFL Week 2.
Bum, 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 bum.
All right. Tomorrow night, or tonight.
Whenever you're listening to this in the next day or so.
It's always close. We record Wednesday night, so now it's September the 10th. It might drop early on the 11th, and that, by the way, of course, September the 11th, please take time to honor everybody who is with us and is not with us.
Take a moment of silence.
Who was involved, of course, in the 9/11 tragedy. Again, with this world as screwed up as it is right now, we need to come together on Thursday, September the 11th. Please. All right. Very, very good game to start off Amazon Prime's coverage of the NFL.
Yep.
You missed my Kirk Herbstreit rant last week, by the way. Oh, Dave and I, now, you kids, if you listened last week, you know, Dave's going to catch up on some things here. Especially when we get to the weekend edition, we got to play catch up. But I went on Bart Winkler. God bless him. I love him so much. He came out last week, and he went off on Herbstreit and the dog. And said, why the fuck does he... Well, of course, Bart didn't say that. I said this.
Why the fuck does he get to bring his dog to work?
Yeah, and we all have to sit here and go, isn't that so wonderful and so cute? And Bart's...
What makes you so special, Herbstreit?
And then, of course, he was... Oh, golly, Corso, oh my God, Leo, I think I miss you so much. I'm like, who took this man's left testicle?
Ugh.
Seriously, he is the biggest snowflake for an older guy I have ever seen in my life. Of course, I thought that maybe him and Mike Greenberg could get together and have some kettle corn and watch Beaches.
A little chai tea.
Yeah, they could watch Beaches and talk about how awesome Bette Midler and Barbara Hershey were. I had a third one in there, and I can't remember who the third person... Oh, Scott Van Pelt. I had him in there,
yeah.
too. But anyway, we get a great Thursday night game featuring Mr. Herbstreit and his dog and Al Michaels. I wonder what Al Michaels, I've heard, is a prick. And I can't believe he puts up with that. The Commanders, the 1-0 Commanders, go into Lambeau Field to play the 1-0 Green Bay Packers. Good game. Very good game. Point spread right now, 3.5 in favor of the home team.
Yep. 7 of the 8 panelist picks are in. Doug and I are taking the Commanders. Why am I taking the Commanders? I hate the fucking Packers and I don't believe in them yet.
Everybody else taking the Packers, the other 5 who have their picks in, including me. If I pick them to go to the NFC Championship...
You kind of have to.
Kind of have to, especially a home game.
Yep.
I do like what the Commanders did last week. Division game. Yes, it was the Giants. A lot of people thought, oh, the Giants are going to show you something. No, they didn't. And again, Jackson Dart's going to go through all the same crap Caleb Williams, and now Michael Penix is probably going to go through. Yeah. They're going to fire Dayball and fire Shane, and he's going to have to start off with a brand new coach and a brand new because Russell Wilson cannot play football anymore.
No, he's done. He hasn't been able to play football in 3 or 4 seasons.
The really stupid thing Dayball did, he should have put Winston in at second, instead of moving Dart immediately up to be the backup quarterback. Because that's an insult to Winston. And Winston right now, I guarantee if they put him in, the fans would be okay with it, and we'd see a completely different brand of football.
Oh, you
now,
would.
it still might not be
completely.
winning football, but
They would be more competitive.
yes. So anyway, the Commanders get that win against the Giants. The Packers, of course, look very good against the Lions. It's going to be a really good game.
It should be a doozy.
I just think the Packers have still got that. They're riding that high from the Micah Parsons signing. And again, it's a message to that team and that fan base that we are all in. Because when do you ever see the Packers make a move like that?
They don't.
All right.
Jaguars at the Bengals on Sunday, the 14th.
Now, what do you make of this? Two teams, both 1-0, but didn't really impress in their wins?
No, not at all. I'm sorry. The Bengals are the better team.
But again, it's only week 2. This is usually when they still stumble and bumble out of the gates.
Yeah, well, they're still already better than they were last year at this time.
Yeah, and Al Golden seemed like he did something right with that defense.
Yeah, they were much improved.
So, yeah, everybody on the panel, the 7 who've got their picks in, we all agree Bengals across the board.
Across the board at home.
Not buying into the Jaguars yet.
Nope.
You can have this one. You can have this one. I'm done.
The Bears go to Detroit to take on the Lions. Let me tell you, my friends, there's only one person on the panel so far who believes in the Bears, and that would be Doug. God bless him. He wears his heart on his sleeve and will never go against his team. The rest of us are sane and taking the Lions.
I was going to say, I wish you could have done that accent and said, he's got to kill Bossa up his ass if he thinks the Bears are going to win. Oh, I'm having a heart attack. I'm having a heart attack.
If the Bears win this one, I think the rest of us will be going to the ER.
Now, here we go. The Patriots 0-1 at the Dolphins 0-1. Two of the least impressive performances from week 1 came from these two teams. I have no faith whatsoever in Miami.
No, I am going with the better coach. With Mike Vrabel coaching the Patriots, I take the Patriots along with you and Nick and Doug and Aaron. I don't know what Sam and Bill see in Miami.
The old guard. Getting a little senile there.
What the hell are you thinking that Miami can win at home after that piss-poor performance where there was nothing on that team? Tua doesn't even look like he's all there right now.
No. What, 3 turnovers
at
least from Tua?
Yeah.
And Waddle, oh my God. I was sitting there, and the first catch he makes, he's, I hurt my shoulder. I'm thinking,
there we go.
There's Jalen Waddle. There he is.
Boom, baby.
Now,
no,
I'll give him
McDaniel
credit.
has lost the Dolphins.
I'll give Waddle credit. He came back out next series. But yeah, I'm like, there's the China doll for you.
Yeah. Ugh.
Now, this is my trap game of the week. We are Bills at the Jets. Now, we're all taking the Bills because we're not insane. But Bills might be coming down off that comeback high against the Ravens.
You had a very mobile quarterback, and Lamar Jackson run roughshod over them and make
40
them look
points.
silly.
Put up 40 points in Buffalo. Now, this is on the
Buffalo.
road.
This is at home. The Jets. Justin Fields can be mobile and give them fits again.
Yep. Point spread on this is 6.5. We don't pick based on point spreads, but if I was a betting man, which I am not, please bet responsibly. Contact somebody if you have a problem. 6.5, I'd take the Jets with the point spread.
With the point spread, yes. Straight up.
Yeah, straight
Bills
up.
across the board.
This could be like a late field goal situation.
Yeah.
It'll be
similar
close
to the
Steelers
Ravens game.
Well, and the Steelers-Jets game, too. It'll be very close. Speaking of the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers goes home, his latest home, to host the Seahawks. And we've already talked about how we were not impressed with Sam Darnold.
Nope.
And I've got a feeling the Steelers defense is going to try to send a statement.
We are not that bad.
Yep.
Steelers across the board, except for Doug.
Doug and his kielbasa.
He's going with the Seahawks.
Now, this one drives me crazy. You want to talk about drinking Kool-Aid here?
What the hell do we have?
Broncos at Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Stadium to take on the Colts.
Why would Bill, Nick, Doug, and Aaron think the Colts are going to beat the Broncos?
They're buying into what they saw last week, which again was against the worst team, arguably, in the NFL.
One of the worst coaches.
Yes, the Broncos struggled against the Titans, but the Titans put up a decent fight. Not a terrible team. They're not bad. I think the Broncos are going to slaughter Daniel Jones and slaughter the Colts. I don't care if it's in Indianapolis.
The Broncos are the better team. They have the better coach.
You and I and Sam are, I can't believe, in the minority on this.
I know. Ugh. Boggles my mind.
So yeah, 3 picks for the Broncos, 4 for the Colts and Daniel Jones. Then we got the big late afternoon game. Rematch of the Super Bowl. The Eagles going into, was it Geehaw Field at Arrowhead? I hate how they do that.
I'm sick of this naming rights bullshit.
To take on the Chiefs. I am actually going to take Kansas City, as is Bill.
Yep.
And I will explain to you why.
Why?
Chiefs are not going to go 0-2, number one. Chiefs are not going to go 0-2. The Eagles' defense still didn't look that good last week. I know they didn't have Jalen Carter, the hot Tua boy. But spit on that thing. Not Dak Prescott. I was not impressed with the Eagles' defense last week. I think the Chiefs, you said this, have enough weapons. Even with Xavier Worthy
but
out.
They don't know how to use them.
Hollywood, now they get a full week of practice knowing who they have. And they're at home. Field goal game. Chiefs win.
I'm going to go with the Eagles. The Chiefs' time, they are due to fall back, as we talked earlier.
I agree they are, but I just don't see them going 0-2.
I see that they can go 0-2. I do not think that they can win early.
Well, Sam agrees with you, as does Nick and Doug and Aaron. The Sunday night game, will J.J. McCarthy continue to be the next god? Young quarterback in Minnesota. Oh, God. Really?
No.
Really?
They won because of their head coach.
And again, I think the only reason everybody but Doug is taking the Vikings, he takes the Falcons, is because, again, what we've already mentioned multiple times, there's going to be a regime change in Atlanta. Yep. Raheem Morris doesn't know how to coach a football team.
And Kevin O'Connell does.
The Falcons need a new head coach to take over for Michael Penix, get him right. Yes, it's going to be 2 years wasted of that poor kid. But
he'll be better for it.
Yep. And then we got a doubleheader Monday night. September the 15th, the Buccaneers go down to Houston to play the Texans. I cannot believe Houston is favored by 2.5 points.
How is Houston favored?
I don't care if they're
as
home.
Bad as Stroud is playing.
And no running game.
No, zero, zip, zilch, nada.
How everybody here on our panel is sane.
Buccaneers across the board.
Come on. What has C.J. Stroud showed you in the last 20 games to indicate to you that he's going to bounce back anytime soon and look like he did when he was a rookie? Nothing. They don't have that second wide receiver. Everybody, Tank Dell, now Christian Kirk, always injured. Last week he couldn't get the ball to Nico Collins. That team, that offense is shot. And then we have the Chargers going to Vegas to take on the Raiders.
Raider Island, baby.
I am shocked with this pick. Really?
It's just a gut feeling. Carroll over Harbaugh.
Yep, everybody else takes the Chargers. Dave is taking the Raiders. The extra time off for the Chargers, Harbaugh will take advantage of that. I don't think it'll be a blowout. I think it'll be a close game.
It'll be entertaining. I just, one of those things, I'm like, I just went gut reaction.
Well, I'll tell you
Maybe
what.
the Chargers come off of, maybe they're hungover after the big win over the Chiefs in Brazil.
Well, but again, they have extra time off, is what I'm saying.
But it's emotional roller coaster.
Oh, stop it. There's extra time to get beyond the emotional roller coaster, is what I'm saying.
No.
You are not listening to me, David.
I'm ignoring you.
All right, moving on to college football. Last week, not a lot of interesting games, really, to discuss. The ACC opened up a little bit more for Miami as SMU. Baylor looked like shit in week 1, and then they come back and beat SMU on the road in 2 overtimes.
For the 14th straight win over SMU. Unbelievable. That was a crazy game.
Then, of course, we had Iowa State beating Iowa in that big rivalry matchup. Again, as you would expect,
How
low
long
scoring.
does Kurt Ferenc keep his job in Iowa?
We've been saying this for years. How is he considered an offensive genius?
When they
And
can't score 20
Iowa
points a
can
game.
never score. That team can never score.
No, they're awful.
They lose 16-13. And then, of course, the big game was Saturday night. Kind of went the way everybody except Aaron thought it would. Oklahoma, with this young stud quarterback, Mateer, ends up taking it to Michigan. Oklahoma wins 24-13, a much needed win for Brent Venables.
Yep.
Now Michigan's looking a little disheveled as now they go 2 straight games without their head coach as they're still dealing with
The fallout of Spygate.
the latest Spygate.
Yeah. Spygate Jr., since it's in college.
Wolverine! And unfortunately, not a lot of... There's a little bit better slate this week.
Little bit better.
We start off Friday night, September the 12th, with Colorado, Deion Sanders, going in to play the Houston Cougars.
Houston across the board.
Now-
Houston's tough at home, and Colorado's kind of rebuildish mode.
Can I just tell you something, though? Now that this is the busiest time of the year for Sports Frenzy. We got the NASCAR, we got the baseball, we got the fantasy football, we got the football picks. When I sat down to do these picks, we had 20 total picks this week. I knocked out the pro stuff 2 minutes. My brain's like, boom, boom, look at that, look at... My brain knows what to look at, what to think of, all the analysis, the stats that I accumulated I look at college football and I go, die. What am I going to do? Let's get the coin out and start flipping the coin. I literally, 4 of these games, I'm just like, what am I going to do here? And even Colorado, Houston. I'm like, okay, they lost last week to Georgia Tech, but Georgia Tech is really good.
They are.
So...
How good are... Well...
I'm getting to the point now where I'm looking at the point spreads and the movement of the point spreads from Sunday afternoon to Wednesday morning. And if I see a massive shift, 3 or 4 point shift in favor of one team, I'm going with that team. Because I'm just going to go with the Sharps in Vegas and what they know.
Yeah, there you are.
Point spread did not move. Houston, stable at 5.5. Therefore, I go with Houston. Everybody on the panel does. What do we got next, Dave?
Now we have number 12 Clemson at Georgia Tech. This was... I wavered on this one. You went with Georgia Tech, as did Doug. I almost went there. The rest of us are taking Clemson. I don't have any faith in Clemson. I like Georgia Tech. This is a big statement game for Georgia Tech. It feels almost like it could be a trap for them.
This was the final game I picked. And again, why did I go with Georgia Tech? The point spread plummeted from being initially on Sunday afternoon to almost 10 points down to 3.5.
Yeah. I need to see I can't buy into Georgia Tech yet.
I had to pull a couple upsets here because again, we're already down to Bill. He's already up 3 on you in second.
Yeah.
I'm 4 back. I got to do some contrarian shit here. Now you and I on the next big game, we do agree.
Yep.
On our contrarian
you and
shit.
Number 6 Georgia at number 15 Tennessee. We are the two going with the home team. We got the Vols.
Georgia has played uninspired football the first 2 weeks.
They have looked very
Tennessee's
pedestrian.
offense has looked dynamic.
They have.
This is a home game for the Vols. I'm shocked Bill, being as big of a Vols fan as he is, didn't go with us.
I know. He's going Kirby Smart.
Yep.
But Georgia does not look all that daunting right now.
Nope. So Sam, Bill, Nick, Doug, and Aaron go with the Bulldogs. Dave and I go with Tennessee. Pittsburgh at West Virginia. This is a ACC, traditional ACC matchup. Schools aren't that far apart. Of course, isn't this the first year back for Rich Rod in West Virginia?
Ooh.
So far, the returns have not been impressive. This is another game where the line did not move.
Yep, so West Virginia for Nick and Doug. The rest of us taking Pitt.
This is another trap game. Could be an upset. I'm telling you right now.
I almost took Arkansas in this one.
Arkansas, and this is another one where the line dropped, but it didn't drop enough to the point where I felt comfortable taking Arkansas. Arkansas's quarterback is, through 2 weeks, put up unbelievable numbers.
Can it continue?
If this was on the road, I'd probably have taken the Razorbacks.
Or if they were at home?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If we were looking at Arkansas with Mississippi on the road, yes.
Then I would have taken Arkansas.
But as it is, everybody's being very cautious on this one, and I could see this being an upset. But everybody's taking Ole Miss on this one. Now, this one, the point spread dropped a little bit, and I don't know why. After last week, Florida
looked like absolute crap.
Basically, thank you, Florida, by the way. Now you've made Miami's schedule look a lot better, as now we're playing our second-ranked team already. Florida, now unranked. What was it, the Death Valley battle? So this is Death Valley, right? LSU plays in Death Valley, and Clemson plays in Death Valley. Wasn't that the big thing?
Yeah, it's like, come on. Just stop with the crap like that.
Florida playing at number 3 LSU, even though it's Brian Kelly. Then again, it's Billy Napier.
Right. I trust Kelly more than Napier.
Yep, everybody across the board taking LSU. Number 16, Texas A&M coming into South Bend to play number 8 Notre Dame. I think we're going to see a lot different game plan from Notre Dame. Jeremiah Love will not.
He will not be held under 10 yards or whatever. What stupid it was.
I think he had 10 carries against Miami, which is just pathetic.
Which was dumb beyond belief. Yeah. Denbrock is an awful offensive coordinator.
That being said, this is one of those must-win games for Notre Dame. They've got a cake schedule the rest of the way through. Now,
is it?
Well, last year we thought Northern Illinois was going to be a walkover game.
Yeah, it never is.
But I don't think Notre Dame has any problems with A&M.
No.
The panel across the board takes the Fighting Irish. This is another trap game.
Vanderbilt at number 11, South Carolina. Vanderbilt's been playing pretty good. South Carolina, okay.
Yeah.
I thought about Vanderbilt really hard.
Doug took Vandy. The rest of us, again, being very cautious here, early on in the season.
I actually typed in Vander, and then I deleted it.
Now, again, this is where the point spread has not shifted.
No.
Which tells me that even though a lot of people like Vanderbilt, that 5.5 point spread in favor of South Carolina has not moved. So that I think people are cautiously optimistic that the Cocks
will rise.
The Cocks will rise at home. Yes.
They find warm comfort at home.
Then finally, Duke at Tulane, which arguably is really that game has shifted. Tulane came out as 2.5-point favorites, and now it's completely flipped. Duke is now favored by 1.5 points. Duke's quarterback, of course, used to play for Tulane. We see this more and more now with the transfer portal, which we're going to talk about here in just a second. But, yeah, I shifted on this. If you'd asked me to pick this game Sunday, I probably would have taken Tulane. Now I go with Duke.
Yep, my gut reaction was Tulane. Then I kind of was looking at things a little bit more, and I'm like, nope, I got to go with Duke.
So you and I, Sam and Aaron, take Duke, Tulane for Bill and Nick and Doug. So at least we've got enough different from Bill. So maybe we make up some ground.
Either we make up some ground or we fall so far behind.
Or we split the difference and nothing changes.
Which is usually the case.
Couple little tidbits for NCAA football news, and then we'll move on, of course. The AP poll this week. You'll love this. Now, Ohio State, of course, is number 1.
Right.
The AP
with Ryan Day and his nipple rings. Sorry, I missed out on getting to say that last week.
No, I didn't bring it up, so there you go. Somehow I didn't want to be alone in a room with a microphone talking about Ryan Day's nipple rings. But in this current AP poll, 11 of the top 25 teams are from the SEC. 11.
It's early.
And that's even considering Florida just dropped out.
Yeah, it's early. There's a lot of bias in there.
And as you've always said,
rankings should not be done until after week 5.
Yeah. Notre Dame was off in preparation for Texas A&M, and they somehow moved up from 9 to 8. And then Miami, stable at number 5, goes 2-0 as they traditional game against Bethune-Cookman. They beat them 45-3. I don't want to hear any bullshit about a cupcake game because, again, we played Notre Dame last week. Our next 3 games are USF, Florida, and Florida State. Okay? So
and
I don't
USF is not going to be a cakewalk.
No, luckily there is a bye week in there between Florida and Florida State. That Florida State game is going to be
that's going to be
war.
Brutal.
And that's the one I think they could lose. That's the one that could be the loss.
They can't look past USF, though, either.
No. They can't look past Florida.
Anybody.
Yeah. And we already mentioned USF just beat Florida.
Handily.
And then we had it in the pros and we had it in college. Florida player spitting on an opposing player.
Idiots.
The transfer portal. It is not confirmed yet, but the transfer portal might actually move from December. I don't know how this makes any sense.
Why put it? It needs to be moved until after the season. Why does it have to be right before the Final Four teams play?
Right.
Wait until after the national championship game.
Yep.
Then open the portal.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be in all this bullshit mess.
Yeah. The transfer portal is moving from December to January, like Dave said.
It should be late January. A full week after the national championship game.
Yeah, but like you said, it's right in the middle of the CFP. Right in the middle.
Absolutely stupid. That is a retarded idea.
And then, of course, they are eliminating. Remember, they had a second window in April.
Yeah. Eliminate that second window. put the main window right after the championship game. 2 weeks, boom.
All right. Last thing here before we move on to our other sports. Of course, you're going to expect about an hour of football, kids, every week, so get used to it. But I have a trivia question for your Uncle Dave to close things out. Can you tell me, Dave?
No.
Jesus. Which team out of the Power Four conferences has the longest AP ranking drought, meaning they have never been ranked in the top 25 of the Power Four conferences, the teams in the Power Four? I will tell you this. They have not been ranked since 2012. And I believe, counting this past poll, this puts it at 202 polls where they have not been ranked ever in the top 25. So, of course, we're looking at SEC, ACC, Big 10, Big 12.
Good Lord, that's a lot of teams to go through.
I'll let you think about it. I don't want to overwhelm you. I will tell you that. You want a hint?
Shot in the dark. We'll go with Vandy.
That was my guess, and it's wrong. Currently coached by one of my favorite coaches in all of football.
Rutgers?
Yes.
Rutgers was my second.
Rutgers has not been ranked in the AP poll since 2012.
Yeah.
Greg Schiano, of course. Love Greg Schiano. He's doing his best. He's trying to turn that team around.
Rutgers is just not a football program.
Well, there was supposed to be a basketball team this year, and they didn't even pull that off.
No.
They had the two kids drafted in the top 10 in the NBA, but didn't do much for their basketball program. I think did they even finish 500?
I don't think so.
All right, anyway, that is our cue to move on to major. All right, so we've got a couple weeks left here, about 2.5 weeks in the regular season in baseball. So, a little bit of a snooze fest here is, again,
it's
the 6 teams on the NL side. Now, the Rangers are making things interesting on the American League side. The Rangers are making their run.
Yes.
This is your Bruce Bochy every other year thing. And even though they've got injuries, they are pushing.
They're finding a way to get it done.
They're pushing Seattle for that last playoff spot. But otherwise, and here's the really weird thing. By the way, that American League West is so tight that technically, by this weekend, you could see the Astros completely out.
Oh, yeah.
That's how tight it is between the Astros, the Mariners, and the Rangers. Now, the Tigers are in, Blue Jays are in, probably Yankees and Red Sox. But yeah, that American League West now is really, interesting. And then, of course, the Dodgers and Padres in their battle of ineptitude right now, because neither one of them seems to want to win a fucking game.
They don't want to do anything. God.
But at least whoever wins that division gets home field advantage, at least for one round.
Yeah. You take what you get on the home side.
All right. Not going to spend a ton of time on baseball again. Next week, things will start to ramp up a little bit. But we just mentioned the Dodgers. What a bizarre weekend and week for the Dodgers. Going back to Saturday on through to Monday, the Dodgers literally lost 2 no-hitters. And they actually lost the game one.
Yeah.
Last Saturday night, they lost to the Orioles 4-3, even though they were 1 out away from a no-hitter. They end up blowing the game completely. And then Monday the 8th, They beat the Rockies 3-1, but again, they lost a no-hitter in the ninth. Very odd. Very, very odd. And can I say something to you as my friend? And you and I have been through these sports frenzy battles and the wars and the trenches.
For a long time.
Long time. We've been through every competition, baseball and March Madness and football and fantasy football and NASCAR. I am going to say this to you. A solemn vow. Now, you thought I was on edge with the Bears? I will never, ever fucking pick the Dodgers ever again! Ever in the field of frenzy. Ever!
They're killing you, Smalls.
And then I don't pick them and they fuck me when somebody else takes them. The worst week of my year
is with the Dodgers this week.
I got one win from the Dodgers last week. One win. They played the Pirates and the Orioles. One win.
Yee.
The only thing that saved me was the Padres barely played any better. Because you guys had the Padres and I had the Dodgers. Yeah. And now this week I've got the Padres and Aaron's got the Dodgers and the Dodgers are right now 2-1. Yeah, for the week. Now I do have 4 coming up in San Diego against the Rockies. So I have that in my back pocket.
You have that, but the Rockies aren't a cakewalk either right now.
Speaking of the Rockies, our weekly look at them.
They are guaranteed to not have the worst record.
Not guaranteed, not yet.
Pretty
it's getting
much.
Close. It's getting
pretty
close.
much.
Right now they are 40 and 105. That puts them at a .276 winning percentage, on pace to go 45 and 117. But this is what I'm saying. If my Padres come through for me this weekend and sweep,
that would help my
Rockies,
White Sox get out of the record.
That would push the Rockies closer to that futility mark.
I'm not counting on it.
What do we got for 300 hitters, Dave?
Did you recap it last week?
Well, you were gone. Of course I did.
I'm just checking.
Of course
so last week it was at 6. This week we climb to 7.
Yep.
Judge is still up there. He's at 321, down a little bit from last week. And then at number 7 we have Corey Springer at 300. Now last week we had 9 players between 290 and 299. This week we're down to 7. Not good. 2 at 295, 1 at 290. It's dropped. You had 298, 297, 296 last week. Now it's 295, 293, 291, and 290. Not good.
And by the way, I got to point this out to you. There's nothing to do with the three. Well, yes and no with the 300 hitters. But what's really infuriating me is seeing all of these stat geeks now coming up with new statistics as they try to project who's going to win the MVP awards and the Cy Young awards.
What are we going? Oh, he's got great bat speed.
Well, they've got, what was it called? What did I see? Axe, I think, is the latest made-up statistic that they're using. Just, of course, it all works in favor of Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani.
Of course it does.
But this is how stupid this Axe statistic is they've come up with. I'm not even going to bother to bore you people with what this is, because it's another made-up, stupid, stat geek load of bullshit. Who would you think? Now, you know I'm biased, but who in the national, let's just focus on the National League. Who do you think I would think right now, and you might agree, who's the MVP in the National League? Not Ohtani, obviously.
Right. Probably Schwarber.
Thank you. This Axe statistic, you're going to love this.
What does it even fucking stand for?
I'm not getting into this bullshit because it's worthless. It'll go away tomorrow. It's one of these stats that they're just throwing out there to rile people. using this axe statistic. Again, Shohei Ohtani's number one, Judge is number one in the American League. In the National League, Kyle Schwarber is 10th.
In this axe bullshit.
Guess who he's tied with? This will again tell you how much bullshit this is. And I'm a Cubs fan. Kyle Schwarber is tied for 10th with Nico Horner. And I love Nico.
Nico is the best hitter on the Cubs.
But he ain't number 10 in terms of the MVP running.
No, not at all. Oh, my God.
And Kyle Schwarber sure as hell isn't 10th.
No. Oh, my God, that's pathetic.
Yeah.
That is absolutely pathetic.
Speaking of which, can I throw some Cubs stats at you real quick? Because I want to show you, again, how this team has broken down in the second half. I want to point out to you the two best players going into the All-Star break. And this is me. I did this research, okay? This axe thing pissed me off so much that I had to go do my own research against my own team, showing how bad my team has been since the All-Star break.
Yeah, you had
Well, we had
two.
Seiya Suzuki
Yep.
going into the All-Star break had 77 RBIs. Pete Crow Armstrong had 71. And again, I know the All-Star break fell a little late this year. I get that. Let me just, and then home runs. Both PCA and Suzuki had 25 home runs going into the All-Star break. Now, it is almost 2 months later, okay? Almost 2 months later since we took that time off for the All-Star break. Pete Crow Armstrong, since the All-Star break, has hit 3 home runs
Oof.
and has driven in 16 runs.
Ouch.
Seiya Suzuki's worse. Seiya Suzuki has hit 2 home runs since the All-Star break and driven in 13 runs in almost 2 months.
Ouch.
Those guys were on pace for 115, 120 RBIs. Cubs might not get anybody with 100 RBIs now. Especially because Kyle Tucker is now on the IL with a calf injury, and we all know what calf injuries lead to.
Achilles issues.
He ain't coming back.
This guy,
he ain't coming back.
he is not getting anywhere near the money he thought he was going to at the start of this season.
He's going to end up having to do the Cody Bellinger deal. Or he's going to have to take a short-term deal.
Monster cut.
With a team option where he can opt out if he has a great year and then cash in.
Maybe try, but...
But right now the Cubs are 82 and 63. They are still in second, and they are still, seems like it's been this number for weeks and weeks, 6 games behind the Brewers.
Yep. Yeah, Tucker's probably regretting not signing that offer that the Cubs made him earlier in the season.
Yeah. Yep.
And the Cubs are probably going, we dodged that bullet.
White Sox 55 and 90, 5th place, 28 games behind Detroit.
Yep, maintaining that 28. So, 28 and a half last week, so. There's some semblance of hope. There's a light, a glimmer off in the distance that there's something there to work with. But I still don't trust Getz.
Phillies are still playing well, but they had another big injury. Of course, they lost Zach Wheeler for the year. Now Trey Turner has a hamstring issue. He will not play again in the regular season. And then saving the best for last, selfishly, my man, one of my favorite Cubs of all time, one Anthony Rizzo, will be retiring this coming Saturday. As a Chicago Cub, he will become an ambassador for the team.
As he should.
I love me some Anthony Rizzo, but this year is starting to spook me We lost Rhino. Riz is retiring. I wonder if the professor will call it quits after this year out in Anaheim. He's actually pitched fairly well.
He's not done bad.
Yeah, ERA is about 4.5. He's been an innings eater.
But at some point,
I still don't understand. He only asked for, what, $3 million? Why the Cubs didn't keep him? Stupid. And now, you want to talk about under the radar, surprising me? I knew Cade Horton was having a decent year.
Oh, Cade Horton has been phenomenal.
Cade Horton's now jumped up. He's the front runner for National League Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, he has been on fire.
He's pretty much the only reason why the Cubs are still relevant right now.
Yeah.
Is because now they can depend on him to win every start.
He's been very consistent.
So, let us move on to basketball just real quick. Real quick. I know how much Dave loves basketball.
Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy.
Fun. We had the Hall of Fame induction ceremony this past weekend.
Yay.
The Bulls re-signed Josh Giddey for a 4-year, $100 million deal. Because you got to have somebody playing basketball for the Bulls.
Yeah. They need someone, and they have to spend some money.
And then, of course, WNBA, the Fever season is done. They did make the playoffs, which start this weekend, 24-20, but there will be no Caitlin Clark.
Nope. That groin injury or whatever, worse than expected.
Because they rushed her out there and she re-injured it.
Yep.
And then, of course, we mentioned the glorious Angel Reese earlier.
The me-bound queen.
She got suspended twice this past week. How about that?
Oh.
The league suspended her for a full game because she got her 8th technical foul. And then her team, the Chicago Sky, suspended her for a half because she had to run her mouth off about, if this is the way this team's going to be run, I'm not going to be here. I'm not putting up with it.
Bye-bye.
That's why I said, not the wagon you want to hitch your trailer to, Caleb Williams. Can you hitch a trailer to a wagon? Did I get that wrong? You have to
hitch a wagon to your horse.
Did you just call her a horse? That's bad. You can't say that. Angel Reese is not a horse.
Hitch your horse to the wagon. Hitch the wagon to the horse.
All right, let's move on to NASCAR. We're 2 races into the playoffs. And we have an elimination race now coming this Saturday night. But, of course, we've got a couple things to discuss. First,
I didn't even bother watching any of this past week's race. But then again, I was working on home improvement projects. It was on, and all I could hear was Mr. Diffie, every lap like it's the most exciting thing ever happening.
Yeah. How fun was it Sunday afternoon to have to choose? Again, because Dave is toiling and making us all feel bad. I'm building a house from scratch. I'm putting together a 95 Corvette from a kit.
I'm working on a bathroom remodel, and I had to scrape all the glue and remnants from the linoleum off of the subfloor to get it ready, and then I had to cut out part of the subfloor that was water damaged.
No, kids, you have not had Sports Frenzy 2.0 hijacked by an HGTV podcast.
I'm not Bob Vila.
No, but do you know how painful it was for me?
To choose between Diffie and Romo?
Yeah, Diffie and Romo. Diffie and Romo. Romo, by the way, getting awful reviews for week 1 again.
He's bad.
And
I caught a little bit of the game, and I'm walking through, and my mom goes, Does Romo ever shut up? Does he not pay attention to what's going on?
And the thing I can't stand is Nance has completely been turned into a Romo clone.
Yeah, he's bad.
He giggles. Tony, you're so funny. You're the best ever. Hello, friends. Like, oh my God, what happened to Jim Nance, the professional?
Used to be good, and
so anyway, the race at Worldwide Technology Raceway, Gateway, whatever the fuck you want to call it, pretty much dominated by Denny Hamlin. He had the pole. He won the race. It was the 200th Cup victory for Toyota. Yippee skippy.
woo,
Beat up a hippie.
hoo.
Yeah. Really not
Bully
not
for
that exciting.
them.
Really not that exciting. But, of course, that moved Denny Hamlin on to the round of 12, along with Chase Briscoe. So Joe Gibbs Racing right now, very, very happy
Yeah,
with where they're sitting.
They're looking pretty.
In other NASCAR news, the Haas factory team is switching next year from Ford to Chevrolet. Alex Bowman, because he has had an absolutely piss-poor start to the playoffs, is stealing 4 pit crew members from Carson Hocevar because, of course, Hendrick Motorsports supplies pit crew members to Spire, so that means they can pilfer.
Bringing them back.
So they can pilfer Carson Hocevar's guys and leave him with the shit show that is Alex Bowman's crew.
Yeah, they have not done him any favors.
No, and he's basically got to win.
Yeah,
at Bristol.
He's pretty much done.
Now, circling back to Lee Diffie. I'm telling you, fans, we talked about this earlier, betraying your core fan base. NASCAR is feeling it right now, and they are feeling it hard.
Ratings are tanking.
Cracker Barrel, that whole thing is looking like it smells like a beautiful rose compared to the shit show NASCAR's dealing with right now. Because we mentioned a couple weeks ago the Richmond ratings were abysmal.
Which is sad because it's one of the better races to watch.
Yeah, we had a 0.75 rating for Richmond, which translates to 1.4 million viewers, which is terrible.
That's awful.
Playoff race. Now again, this is right up against the first weekend of NFL football. Worldwide Technology got a 0.82, which means 1.525 million viewers. That is awful, kids. That is awful.
And it's because of the broadcast.
I think a lot of it's got to do with...
Most of it is the
Nobody
broadcast.
likes Lee Diffie.
Nobody likes Steve Letarte either. The two of them together are horrendous.
And nobody understands, any diehard NASCAR fan, why is Worldwide Technology Raceway in the playoffs?
There's no reason for it.
It's stupid beyond belief. So now they are they're reaping what they sowed.
Yep,
they are getting what they deserve.
Stupid, and more power to you.
And then, of course, in F1, the Italian Grand Prix, Max Verstappen won that.
Amid a clusterfuck between Norris and Piastri. They can't McLaren botched that entirely.
Now, is that locked up yet? I know, obviously, IndyCar's done for the year.
It's gotten a little close.
Yeah.
So they're still coming down to the wire.
So again, we have an elimination race. Playoff Race 3 coming up Saturday night, September the 13th, the Bass Pro Shops Night Race.
Yep, and you are getting our panelist picks here on Spotify, Good Pods, Pocket Casts, Apple, Overcast, CastBox, Amazon, Audible, and iHeart Sports Frenzy, baby. and to UB2B.
And don't forget to check out the Facebook page. Every Thursday night you will get all of our football picks for the coming weekend, all of our NASCAR picks for the upcoming race, and then Sunday night, with a couple weeks left, our baseball picks.
Yep. And come back Saturday morning for your favorite politically incorrect pop culture commentary, the weekend edition, your Saturday morning hangover cure.
And we have got a lot of fun rock and roll stuff to discuss. Of course, I mentioned last week, held off. So Dave and I will have our review this week of The Hives Forever the Hives. He'll jump in and recap his thoughts on David Lee Roth live in concert. I had to review it last week.
That's
I needed
fine. You
something.
needed some content.
We will catch up on our shows, Alien Earth, Peacemaker,
Got
and
a
then
movie to
yep. Now
pop
we're not
but-
doing any. We don't have anything official in terms of movies. Dave and I are just kind of playing it off the cuff. However,
Yep.
I'm playing catch up. He's watching what he wants, and sometimes that works out very well.
That's not a bad thing from time to time.
Yep. So yeah, definitely check out your Saturday morning hangover cure. Our picks for the Bristol night race. I hate this.
When everybody goes chalk.
I hate this. Because we're either going to have Jen have a disaster and then everything tightens up and things will be interesting for the next 2 months, or it's going to be over. It's going to be over. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's all or nothing.
And this happened in week 1. And this is part of the reason why Jen was able to jump out to a sizable lead, is because everybody took William Byron. I know you didn't.
No.
That's why you're in second. You were able to jump up. But the rest of us took William Byron. Jen got a massive jump on us. You made up your deficit.
And I closed a little ground on her.
But now we're
Oof.
doing it again. And I just don't like this. It's the smart pick, it's the right pick, but it could end the Frenzy Cup season with 7 races to go. Dave, Sam, Bill, Nick, Aaron, and I are all taking Kyle Larson for Bristol.
Who's completely dominated the last 2 races there.
I need him to do it again. Now, Jen's got a good pick, but she, as the leader, put her pick out first, which kind of dictated this.
What the rest of us would do.
She takes Ryan Blaney. She'd already taken Kyle Larson here earlier in the playoffs, so she cannot use him again.
And then there's Doug.
What the fuck is Doug doing?
Doug! Doug!
And he was doing so well over the last
Doug!
couple months.
Doug! There's one track to have used this pick at, and it's not here.
He was doing so well over the last couple months too. He'd gotten some wins.
He was making some good picks. Oh, Doug, why did you take Shane Van Gisbergen in here?
Yeah, what, three races more? He should have waited.
Waited 3 more races.
Right, 3, I think, right?
Yeah.
Is when the Roval pops up?
I think so.
Yeah, because I think we've got Loudon. Yeah, Loudon, Kansas City, and then the Roval. Now, the kids, I told the kids this last week, so I might as well let you in on the joke because you weren't here. When I was accumulating the picks for last week, now this week, of course, he still screwed me, and he skipped the pick, and I had to text him and say, Doug, who you taking for Duke and Tulane? But last week was the classic.
He sent 2 picks.
Oh, God, he starts doing that shit. I'm literally going to hunt him down and kill him. No. When we were doing the NFL season predictions, right?
Right.
And I told everybody, posted them last week, told everybody, Doug's predictions. All right? AFC Championship game, Bills and Chiefs. Bills win. NFC Championship game. Eagles and Bears. Bears win.
So it should be Bills-Bears for the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl winner, Kansas City Chiefs. And he's not the first one to do that. Sam's done that. And I'm like, what are you people doing to me? You're trying to drive me nutsy cuckoo crazy. They're trying to drive me insane,
what?
Dave.
Then you leave it.
They're coming to take me away.
Yeah, hee-hee-ho-ho.
Some Dr. Demento.
Oh my God.
All right, so to
Come
recap,
on.
the Bristol Night Race picks. 6 of our 8 panelists taking Kyle Larson. Jen takes Ryan Blaney, and Doug inexplicably takes Shane Van Gisbergen. All right, couple little other tidbits to discuss before we get to moments of silence and, of course, the Red Foreman dumbasses of the week. I do have a badass, by the way, which is going to tie into the dumbasses.
I did have a badass that I should have mentioned in the NFL segment.
Well, mention it now.
I will. Jim Cornelison on Monday Night Football knocking out the national anthem, as he does every Blackhawks home game. Anytime he sings, it is an awesome rendition. And NFL fans across the nation have agreed that that was one of the best that they've heard.
Well, he's tremendous. He's always tremendous.
He is, and nobody knows it outside of Chicago.
Outside of Chicago, yep. All right, so I'm going to save my Clint Eastwood Badass of the Week for right before the dumbasses because, again, they tie in together. In tennis, in the U.S. Open, Arina Sabalenka won her 4th Grand Slam title, and Carlos Alcaraz won his 6th. And those two look like they're poised to dominate the women's and the men's side, respectively, for quite a while.
Yep.
And of course, Alcaraz, they're already saying, oh my God, greatest player of all time. Oh my
Well,
God.
let's slow down. The greatest player at the moment.
Yeah.
Just got by center.
Yeah.
Who's not too bad himself.
Sabalenka is intriguingly good looking. She's one of those. Remember the Seinfeld episode?
Depends on how the light.
Yes, yes. The Seinfeld episode.
Light
yes.
versus shadow.
Yeah, that's kind of how she is.
Yeah.
You catch her in one angle, she's
like,
stunning,
ooh,
and then another one, yeah, it's like she looks like a dude. And then, of course, God, I guess I would be remiss with the Ryder Cup coming up.
Meh.
That Rory McIlroy won the Irish Open.
Whoop-de-doo.
So that takes us into I have one moment of silence for sports. It's a big one. The manager of the world champion 1986 Mets, Davey Johnson, passed away. And of course, again, because I listened to a ton of New York sports radio, I was shocked how little attention they gave this. Really.
Yeah, I know. Very little. I have one Hall of Fame Canadiens goalie, Ken Drayden,
Oh.
who was the goalie winning 6 Stanley Cups with the Canadiens in the 70s.
Wow, I did not see that. I know that name.
Just yesterday, on the 9th, as we tape this.
Wow. Way to go, ESPN. Way to go. Thanks for covering hockey as well as you do. Note sarcasm.
Thoughts and prayers to all their families and friends.
All right, with that, what time is it, Dave?
It is time to find out who will be crowned this week's Red Foreman Dumbass of the Week and win the golden boot up the ass.
All right, we missed you last week, man. I had to tell the kids they had to vote, you know. Now, don't get mad at me, because this is going to be a little heavy on the sports side, but the weekend edition We're actually skipping dumbasses.
Ah, there we go.
So, and I
6,
do have a last call.
6,
I
7.
do have a last call. 6. I have 6. Let us start off with
Let me take notes.
your favorite driver and mine in NASCAR. That would be one Kyle Busch.
The Dirty Bush.
Well, you want to talk about the dirty Busch, that's what we're going to talk about. Because somehow, I guess because he has not won in a while for Richard Childress, he and his wife, very hot by the way, and it's amazing to me to see the two side by side.
I know, isn't it?
He's just such a pudwhack.
He's got one of the most punchable faces.
Yes. They actually filmed. It looks like it was done on a phone. This low-budget ad for Game Day Men's Health. Yes, it involves Kyle Busch admitting that he's finishing some races much quicker than he would like. So he has to go in to Game Day Men's Health with his wife to solve his PE problem.
Oh.
And now he says as he comes out,
But
yeah, my wife now can finish on top like she always does. Something like that.
God.
It is the most cringe-inducing thing
Yeesh.
you've ever seen
Yeesh.
in your life. And again, it looks like it was shot on a phone.
Oof.
I'm
That's
like, Kyle, what happened to all the money? Why are you doing this?
He's paying off the Mexican government. He's paying off the gun charges.
So Kyle Busch is your first nominee. Next up, Titans head coach Brian Callahan. There was a nice completion from my man Cam Ward to a fellow rookie wide receiver. And it looked, by all accounts, the people in the booth, everybody said, that is a catch, coach. You need to challenge it because of the referees on the field called it incomplete. Kid caught it. Elbow came down first inbounds. Then the feet came down, but they were out of bounds. However, the rule book, as you would expect a head coach would know the rule book, any part of the body outside of the hands comes down in bounds first on a catch. It is a legitimate completed catch.
Yes.
Callahan, in the post-game press conference, when asked, why didn't you challenge that? He said, well, it didn't matter because there was no foot that came down.
It doesn't matter. What an idiot.
And then the next day, when he is called out on it, I misinterpreted the rule. That's on me.
Yeah, yeah.
You're a head coach of an NFL team. I would hope you would know the rules a little better. So they missed out on this big, huge completion because Coach Callahan
is an idiot.
Didn't realize that an elbow equals
Counts.
2 feet.
Your ass counts as 2 feet.
Couple from the NBA now, Dave. I know, easy pickings. Easy pickings.
Low-hanging fruit.
Yep. First up, the league as a whole, coddling their players even more than they usually do. They have made a change in their statistics for the upcoming season going forward. If a player takes one of those half-court shots before the clock runs out, try to hit that big, massive three-pointer to shift momentum, that shouldn't count against the player. So the rules will now count any end-of-period heaves as a total team miss, not an individual player miss.
That's bullshit. It's the individual taking the shot.
You don't want to harm the statistics of the player.
It's one shot. What does it matter?
They're coddling the players, Dave.
Oh, my God.
I'm sure they had a couple players bitch and piss and moan.
Then don't take the fucking shot.
That's what I thought. Don't take the shot. Just eat the ball and go on to the next.
One shot is not going to destroy your... Oh, my God.
Yep, so now any of those end of period half-court shots will not count against the player. They will be considered team misses.
So everybody gets a miss.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a team miss.
Stupid.
It's a team miss.
It makes no sense at all.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, my God. Stop rewriting everything.
And then, of course, we have our buddy, seemingly a weekly dumbass nominee. That would be one, LeBron James. LeBron James, it was found out earlier this week, wrote an essay for the state-run Chinese People's Daily on his Forever King tour of the Far East, where he basically did nothing but he gushed and praised China.
Oh my God.
And, basketball will bring the East and the West together.
Wow. How much did he get paid for that?
Yep. Yeah, remember a couple years ago, what was it, John Cena? He got in trouble for saying something like Taiwan is a free, or should be a free state. And he got reprimanded and had to apologize because he pissed off China.
Fuck China.
It's got to be the same thing here. Got to be the same thing here.
Fuck China.
Just remember the old quote from Michael Jordan. When they asked him, they said, why don't you step up for any social causes? Why don't you step up for racism and all this? He goes, because Republicans buy sneakers too.
Yep.
So little Bron here is making sure he doesn't piss off, the
manufacturers of his shoes.
Yep, using their child slave labor. Oops, did I say that out loud?
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit.
Come on.
I tell you what,
hypocrisy at its greatest, isn't it?
I'll tell you what I get a kick out of is I love watching the commercials with him and Kevin Hart, where Kevin Hart just rips into him and makes him feel like a complete asshole because he's
got nothing.
Hey, what's with the beard, Abraham Lincoln? Where's the stovepipe hat? We're all thinking this.
Exactly.
We're all thinking this, and Kevin Hart's one of the few people who can actually come out and say it, and he's getting paid to say it. God bless Kevin Hart.
No kidding. There's a badass right there.
Yeah. Thank you for the segue, by the way.
You're welcome.
So my Clint Eastwood badass of the week, leading into a dumbass nominee. I never thought I would have the Miami Marlins as one of my badasses, but the Miami Marlins, along with recently acquired, it's been a month and a half since the trade deadline, Harrison Bader of the Phillies. We've all heard this story by now about Phillies playing the Marlins down in Miami.
That stupid bitch Phillies fan taking the ball from the kid because she's a entitled little twat.
Well, yeah. So you can guess who the dumbass nominee is here, the Phillies Karen. But for those of you who have not heard this story, Harrison Bader of the Phillies hits a home run. There is a scramble for the home run ball, as there always is.
Land.
This is how it always happens. Nobody's entitled to it. Whoever comes out with it, unless there's eye gouging involved.
Unless you actually catch the ball on a fly, it's a free-for-all.
Yeah, unless somebody's actually getting punched or eye gouging's involved, it is anybody's ball. So this gentleman named Drew Feltwell got the ball, took it back to his son,
celebrating his son's birthday.
Gives the ball to his son, and we're all thinking, what a heartwarming, wonderful story this is. Until
the bitch.
And by the way, I have not seen any pictures of her from the, her face, but from behind as she's yelling at the father to give her the fucking ball because that's her fucking ball.
That's my ball.
You know who she looks like from behind? Rosie fucking O'Donnell is who she looks like. And we all know how much we love Rosie O'Donnell here on Sports Frenzy, who now says, I'll come back to America when it's safe.
For you, it will never be. Oh.
But, again, the badass part of this is the Marlins #1. Heard about this through the grapevine. At the end of the game, got Drew Feltwell and his son and gave them this big, monstrous gift bag.
Yeah.
And said, we know what happened. We're sorry. Take this. Hopefully this makes up for what happened.
Yeah.
And then it got better.
Because Bader found out about it, had him come down to the hall outside the locker room, and signed a bat for the kid.
Yeah. So there are smart people in these organizations, great players
Yes.
with these teams that will do the right thing. And as I mentioned, that's the badass part of it. The dumbass part of it is the stupid Rosie O'Donnell looking bitch.
The Phillies Karen.
It's going to be hard to top her. Going to be hard to top her. And the last one I've got is more personal for me. Sorry. But I have websites I go to, and I've bitched and pissed and moaned about this to Dave all the time. I have websites I go to, I have emails, newsletters I subscribe to that I have mixed feelings about because sometimes they can absolutely be a pain in the ass.
This is true.
They lean politics where I don't want politics. I just want entertainment news. Or in this case, we're talking about Yahoo's daily sports newsletter, Yahoo Sports AM, which is run by one particular snowflake named Kendall Baker. Now, I still read it because this is where I get a lot of the fun trivia questions. This is the one thing it's good for. This is where I get a lot of the fun trivia like the Rutgers question. I got that from them. So there's your credit, Yahoo. But I would like to point out, as we record on the 10th, yesterday morning, the 9th, September the 9th, do you want to know what the featured stories were in the Yahoo Sports AM newsletter, Dave? Now, keep in mind...
Pray tell.
Keep in mind, this is after the first week of the NFL has wrapped up. So you would think there's content galore. We'll talk about the collapse of the Bears. We'll talk about...
comeback from the Bills.
Or
whatever.
Yeah, all the stuff from the weekend. No. The main stories in the September 9th edition of Yahoo Sports AM were Americans, along with Major League Baseball players, are drinking less alcohol. There was a featured story about wheelchair tennis. There was a story about the biggest trade in the National Women's Soccer League ever. And then there was a story about what's going on with the current Euro basketball tournament overseas.
What the hell? These are headlines.
The major stories, featured stories.
Oh my God.
Especially the alcohol one and the wheelchair tennis were long stories.
Oh, for the love of all that's holy.
Yeah. The Bears-Vikings game got like 2 sentences. This is the world we live in now. The snowflakes have taken over. And I've emailed the guy multiple times. I've told him, keep your goddamn politics on occasion. I said, keep your politics out of this. We don't want to hear about who Steph Curry voted for. That's not what you're supposed to be doing here.
Let's get the major sports
taken care of. And then I had to correct him on stuff he got wrong. Never heard back from him. Never heard back from him.
Of course not. But
so,
You didn't get the 3 college men's basketball players who bet on their own games?
Was that Fresno State?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't have time to dig into that. And plus, it's
These guys are
it's
idiots.
starting to get so prevalent now.
I
Because I
know.
saw, the NBA open back up the investigation on Beasley
Yeah.
for his gambling.
We fucking told you so.
Yeah.
That this was going to happen.
You opened up Pandora's box.
Yep.
So I think that's why I'm desensitized to it now. I think that's the thing.
Yeah,
Is
probably.
that I see gambling investigation, and I go,
That figures.
it's just going to get worse before
Yeah.
it gets better.
Yep. Philly's Karen.
It's kind of
By
hard.
a landslide.
It's kind of
By
hard.
a landslide. I mean, my God.
And there's part of me,
That wishes the father would have hauled off and decked her.
well, there's part of me, and I know this is a very, very dark, evil part of me, and I know that there have been people out there that have been looking and they found a couple women and they've been wrong trying
Big
to
time
identify this
wrong.
woman. So that's what I don't like. But if they were actually ever to 100% verified,
Who she is.
I want everybody camped out on her lawn chanting, Karen, Karen, Karen.
Give it
and
back.
we'll do it in shift.
Give it back.
There was a card company, by the way. The card company
Yep.
that said, we got a standing offer, $5,000 for the ball.
And
you
your
write on it,
apology.
you write, I'm sorry on the ball. Give it back to the kid. Yep.
Never happened.
No. But I want them to find her. And just make her life miserable in terms of the chance, people protesting outside her house.
Don't do anything drastic.
No violence.
Nothing
No,
nefarious.
we don't want to be liberals here.
That's right.
All right. I guess I'll agree with you. I guess I will agree with you, although
LeBron deserves it.
no, you need to see that what
Oh,
we
the
need to do.
cringy Kyle.
Yeah. As we take a break here before we record the weekend edition, you need to watch that. And it's just so embarrassingly bad.
Oof.
But yeah, it's kind of hard to go against, the Phillies Karen. Really hard. That's what Kyle said.
But
He's your Uncle Dave.
he's your Uncle Kev.
Glad to have the conquistador back by my side.
Good to be doing this again. I was geared up for last week.
It's
but
my fault. All my fault. Sorry. But hopefully that situation is resolved and will not intrude ever again on the glory that is Sports Frenzy. And thank you, everybody out there. Numbers are looking better.
Keep telling your friends.
Yes. We will always speak the truth. We don't care. We're not scared of the trolls in mommy and daddy's basement saying, you guys are mean and stupid. Number one,
We tell
are
you
mean.
up front we're mean.
We are mean, and we're sure as hell not stupid. And again, you want to go toe-to-toe in Thunderdome? That's an open challenge. But I still have to take Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel out first. Who did I challenge tonight? Who was the one I challenged tonight?
Mr. Beast.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, him too. I got to take those 3 out first. And the world will be a better place when I'm done. And then you can challenge me. 2 men enter, 1 maestro leaves. But don't forget to check out the weekend edition. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be fun beyond all belief. It always is. As we
'Cause
nurse
we
you
have
through
fun with
your
this.
Friday failures at the bars and the nightclubs and the dance halls. We'll nurse you through with the eggs and the bacon and the coffee and, of course, our witty repartee involving pop culture. But until that time, say goodnight to the kids, Dave.
Good night to the kids, Dave.